There's a woman right now replaying a conversation with a man she can't explain. He didn't chase her. He didn't beg. He didn't even try to impress her. And that's exactly why she can't stop thinking about him. If you've ever wondered why the men who care less seem to win more, stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you isn't taught in books. It's not sold in courses, and most men will never understand it. Hit that like button right now if you've ever walked away from someone and felt their energy shift instantly. Subscribe, because this knowledge doesn't come from gurus. It comes from centuries of cold observation. And what you're about to learn will separate you from every other man she's ever met. The difference between being forgotten and being the one she can't escape. Most men think attraction is about addition. Add more compliments, add more attention, add more time, more gifts, more effort, and they wonder why she loses interest. But Machiavelli understood something darker. Attraction isn't built by what you give. It's built by what you're willing to take away. And the moment you understand that, you stop being a man she dates. You become the man she can't forget. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how a woman treats the man who's always available versus the man who isn't? The first one gets comfort. The second one gets obsession. And here's the part that makes most men uncomfortable. She doesn't choose obsession consciously. It chooses her. Because the female mind doesn't crave what it can predict. It craves what it can't control. So today, we're breaking down 9 frameworks pulled directly from Machiavellian strategy. Not to manipulate, but to reveal the game that's already being played. And if you're tired of being the nice guy who finishes forgotten, keep watching. Because by the end of this, you'll see why fear is more valuable than love. Why silence is louder than words. And why the man who walks away is the one she'll chase forever. Number 1. Make fear your foundation. Machiavelli said it centuries ago. But most men still don't believe it. It is much safer to be feared than loved. And before you misunderstand, this isn't about being cruel. It's about being unmovable. Because love without boundaries becomes expectation, and expectation without consequence becomes disrespect. Here's what most men do. They give everything hoping she'll appreciate it. They tolerate disrespect hoping she'll change. They stay when they should leave hoping loyalty will be rewarded. And what happens? She stops valuing him, not because she's evil, but because humans don't respect. What costs them nothing? Now imagine a different man. He doesn't argue when she crosses a line. He doesn't explain why he's upset. He doesn't give her a second chance to fix it. He just goes silent. And that silence, it cuts deeper than any words ever could. Because now she's alone with her own guilt, and her mind starts racing. Did I lose him? Was that the final straw? Why isn't he fighting for me? That's fear, not the fear of violence, the fear of loss. The fear that she pushed too far, and this time, he's not coming back. And in that moment, attraction shifts from comfort to craving. Because she realizes something most women never admit out loud. The man who doesn't need her is the man she needs most. So stop trying to be loved. Start being respected. Because respect without fear is just politeness. But respect built on the knowledge that you will walk away, that's power. And power, not kindness, is what keeps her awake at night thinking about you. Drop this in the comments. I am feared, not needed. Number 2. Control the image, not the truth. Here's something Machiavelli understood that modern men ignore. The truth doesn't matter. Perception does. You can be the most loyal, intelligent, capable man in the room. But if your energy is weak, if your posture is uncertain, if your voice cracks under pressure, she won't feel your value. She'll feel your insecurity. And here's the cruel part. She won't even know why she's not attracted to you. She'll just say, I don't feel it. Because attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. And emotions are triggered by what she perceives, not what's real. So you have two choices. You can't spend your life trying to prove your worth with facts, with explanations, with desperate demonstrations of loyalty. Or you can master the image and let her mind do the rest. Walk into a room like you've already decided you don't need anyone's approval. Speak slowly, like every word is worth waiting for. Hold eye contact half a second longer than feels comfortable. Don't explain yourself when questioned. Don't defend your choices to people who haven't earned your reasoning. Let them wonder. Let them fill in the gaps with their imagination. Because here's what most men don't realize. Mystery creates value. When she can't fully read you, when she can't predict your next move, her brain goes into overdrive trying to figure you out. And the more she thinks about you, the more space you take up in her mind. Not because you chased her, but because you didn't. So stop oversharing. Stop trying to be understood. Start controlling what she sees. Because in a world where everyone's trying to be authentic, the man who masters his image becomes unforgettable. Drop this in the comments. I control what they see. Number 3. Be both the lion and the fox. Every woman you meet will test you, not because she's malicious, but because she needs to know if you break under pressure. She'll pull away to see if you chase. She'll go cold to see if you panic. She'll question your decisions to see if you fold. And here's where most men fail. They react emotionally. They take the bait. They explain. They apologize. They try to fix things that aren't even broken. And the moment they do, she knows. He's controllable. He needs me more than I need him. He's not the one. But Machiavelli gave you the blueprint centuries ago. A wise man must be both lion and fox. The lion to intimidate through strength. The fox to outsmart through strategy. Most men are only one. They're either all emotion or all logic, all force or all calculation. And that imbalance makes them predictable. But the man who's both, the man who can sit in silence while she's emotional, then draw a boundary without raising his voice, that man is dangerous. Because she can't manipulate him with tears and she can't overpower him with aggression. He's 2 steps ahead and she knows it. And that knowledge, that uncertainty, it keeps her hooked. So here's how you apply this. When she tests you emotionally, be the fox. Stay calm. Observe. Don't react. Let her finish her performance. Then when she crosses a line, be the lion. No anger, no explanation, just a cold, clean boundary. And then walk away. She won't understand how you did it. She won't know how to beat it. And that confusion will haunt her long after you're gone. Drop this in the comments. I am the lion and the fox. Number 4. Divide her certainty. Machiavelli's oldest strategy was divide and conquer. But this doesn't just apply to kingdoms. It applies to the mind. Because when a woman is certain about something, she's in control. She knows what she believes. She knows what she wants. Your job isn't to attack that certainty. It's to fracture it. Here's how. She says something absolute. I would never date a guy like that. You don't argue. You don't defend. You just smile slightly and say, that's what you think now. Then you go quiet. And that one sentence, that tiny seed of doubt, it cracks her certainty wide open. Now her mind starts spinning. What did he mean by that? Does he know something I don't? Why am I still thinking about this? And just like that, you've entered her psychology. Not by force, not by convincing, but by creating a question she can't answer. This is how you create obsession without saying a word. You don't need to be in front of her. You just need to be in her head. And the way you get there isn't through presence. It's through contradiction. Small, surgical, impossible to forget. So stop agreeing with everything she says. Stop validating her just to be liked. Plant the seed. Let her water it. And watch how quickly she starts seeking your opinion, your approval, your validation. Because now you're not just another man. You're the one who made her question herself. Drop this in the comments. I plant doubt, not arguments. Number 5. Punish swiftly, reward slowly. Here's where most men destroy their own power. They reward too much and punish too softly. They let disrespect slide with warnings. They let boundaries get crossed with second chances. And they wonder why she stops respecting them. But Machiavelli said it clearly. Injuries should be inflicted all at once. Benefits should be given little by little. Translation: when she crosses you, don't argue, don't explain, don't give her 3 chances to fix it. Cut her off. One move. Cold. Final. No drama. Just absence. And here's why that works. Because there's nothing for her to push against. No fight to win. No apology to manipulate out of you. Just silence. And that silence forces her to sit with her own guilt. She'll replay the moment. She'll wonder if she went too far. She'll start to feel the weight of losing you. Now, when she earns her way back, you don't flood her with affection. You give her a little. A glance, a smile, a few words, then nothing. And she doesn't know when the next reward is coming. So she stays hooked. She keeps trying. She keeps chasing that feeling of being close to you again. This isn't cruelty. This is training. You're teaching her nervous system that your presence is rare. Your attention is earned. Your affection is a privilege, not a right. And once she understands that, she'll never take you for granted again. Drop this in the comments. I reward rarely. Number 6. Say the one thing no one else will. Most men try to compliment their way into a woman's heart. They tell her she's beautiful, smart, amazing, and she forgets it 5 minutes later because she's heard it 1,000 times. But here's what she's never heard: the truth about herself that no one else had the spine to say. You watch her, not her body, her behavior. How she changes her tone depending on who's in the room. How her laugh sounds different when she's performing. How her confidence drops when someone she respects walks in. You see the pattern. And then, at the perfect moment, you say it. You speak differently when he's around. No smile, no judgment, just observation, then silence. And in that moment, everything shifts because you didn't flatter her. You exposed her, and now she's wondering, what else does he see? How long has he been watching? Can I hide anything from him? That's how you live in her mind, not by praising her, but by showing her you see what's behind the mask. And once she knows you see her, really see her, she can't pretend around you anymore. And that vulnerability, that exposure, it bonds her to you in a way compliments never could. Drop this in the comments. I see the mask. Number 7. Disappear without explanation. If you're always there, you're forgettable. If you're always responding, you're predictable. If you're always available, you're taken for granted. But when you vanish without warning, without reason, without drama, you become a mystery she can't solve. Here's what happens in her mind when you go silent. She replays your last conversation. She checks her phone. She wonders if she did something wrong. She starts imagining scenarios. And the longer you stay gone, the bigger you become in her head. Not smaller, bigger, because absence doesn't weaken attraction. It intensifies it, but only if your presence had value. If you were just another guy chasing her, your absence means nothing. But if you were the one who didn't need her, the one who had standards, the one who walked away before, your silence becomes deafening. And when you come back, calm, unbothered, unchanged, she doesn't greet you with anger. She greets you with relief, and maybe a little fear, because now she knows you're not like the others. You don't need this. You chose to come back, and that choice gives you all the power. So disappear sometimes, not out of spite, not out of games, but to remind her that your presence is a choice, not a guarantee. Drop this in the comments. My absence is louder. Number 8. Become her turning point. Most men want to be her boyfriend, her lover, her partner. But here's what they don't realize. Those roles are temporary. They're replaceable. What's not replaceable? Being the man who changed her. Maybe you were the first one who didn't chase. The first one who set a real boundary and kept it. The first one who saw through her games and called them out without anger. The first one who walked away when every other man stayed. And because of that, you're not just a memory. You're a milestone. A before and after. She might move on. She might date other men. She might even marry someone else. But in the back of her mind, there's always you, the one who shifted something inside her she didn't even know existed. That's the deepest form of control. Not making her love you, but making her realize what love should feel like. And once you become that standard, every man after you will be measured against a ghost they'll never beat. Drop this in the comments. I am the standard. Number 9. Master your exit. Here's the final truth most men never learn. The way you leave determines whether she forgets you or chases you for the rest of her life. Most men leave emotionally. They argue, they explain, they beg for one more chance. And by doing that, they kill any attraction that was left. But the Machiavellian man, he leaves cleanly. No anger, no bitterness, no long goodbye. Just a calm acknowledgement that this is over. And then he's gone. And that clean exit, that refusal to break down, it haunts her because she expected drama. She expected emotion. She expected him to fight. But he didn't. He just left, like she was a decision, not a debate. And now she's stuck wondering, did he ever really care? How is he so calm? Is he already over me? And those questions, they never stop, because you didn't give her closure. You gave her mystery. So if you ever have to walk away, do it like a man who knows his worth. No explanations, no attempts to make her understand. Just a quiet exit that says more than words ever could. Because the man who leaves without looking back is the one she'll spend years trying to find again. Drop this in the comments. I walk away like a king. Let's bring this together. These 9 frameworks aren't tricks. They're not manipulation. They're the structure of power that's been hidden in plain sight for centuries. Most men will never use them because they're too afraid of losing her. But here's the truth. The moment you're afraid to lose her, you already have. Real power doesn't come from holding on. It comes from being willing to let go. And once you internalize that, once you truly believe that you'd rather walk alone than be disrespected, everything changes. You stop chasing, you stop explaining, you stop performing, and you start attracting. Because the energy of a man who doesn't need anyone is the energy every woman wants to be near. Not because he's perfect, but because he's immovable. And in a world full of men who bend, break, and beg, the man who stands firm becomes unforgettable. So here's my challenge to you. If this hits something real inside you, if you felt a shift while watching this, comment the word power below. One word, no explanation. It tells me you're done being average. You're done chasing. You're ready to become the man she can't stop thinking about. And if you're serious about mastering this, if you want to go deeper into dark psychology, frame control, and Machiavellian attraction, subscribe right now. Because what's coming next isn't for everyone. It's for men who are ready to take the wheel. Men who understand that power isn't given. It's taken. And it starts the moment you stop apologizing for being hard to control. Drop your final affirmation. I am unforgettable.